Do you remember the saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me"? Well, I certainly don't agree with that phrase, as words can be extremely painful. And personally, I don't easily forget harsh comments, even though I have forgiven most. But bones do certainly hurt, and right now I'm perfectly aware of that firsthand. Welcome to Helen Barton on YouTube, here to guide you to uncover the true you and positively sparkle in life. I actually broke my left elbow this week and it swelled up to the size of a tennis ball. Last year I broke the right one, and no, I can't believe it either. Here's a picture my hubby took last Monday morning, just before we went to the hospital. The doctor actually wrote on the report, "Impressive fracture of the olecranon." It reminds me of a time when we hosted a gymkhana in one of our fields when I was young. Here's a photo of me on Muffin, my Appaloosa gelding, second from the left. Well, we knocked down every single pole as he came to a sliding halt at one of the jumps. He obviously didn't like the look of it. I went flying over his head, and I remember the commentator saying, "Well, if you are going to do the job properly, you might as well do it 100%, Miss Barton." In this week's case, I'd rather not have been so impressive. But there we go. I often talk about how knowing our core values is so essential when we have an impactful life event. Well, most of mine are on stage right now. For example, when it's a physical issue, health certainly comes into play. Making sure that we eat healthily to reinforce the immune system and move with care, for example, to avoid further strife. Please look carefully where you're stepping, as I'm obviously consciously, another value, taking extra care now of where I'm walking and what I'm stepping on, as this whole scenario evolved due to falling after twisting my right ankle while placing my foot on an unexpected rigid stone. Gratitude is also at the forefront of my mind, as I'm here laughing about how clumsy I am and lived to tell the tale. It could have been worse if my head had hit the stone or the dogs had had an accident. I'm actually babysitting a friend's dog whilst they're on holiday. She goes home tomorrow. Positivity is showing up in that I have an operation scheduled for Tuesday to insert a tension band or a plate to pin the bone back into place. I'm not sure which yet. Fingers crossed for that one. And one of my core strengths also pops in here, as I'm optimistic that all will be well. Another cross fingers. It really is incredibly helpful to be self-aware when the unexpected suddenly appears. It helps amazingly to be able to check in with the reality of such a situation and genuinely show up to do the best we can. Dig deep to reach the best self-truth and wisdom we've got to handle the sudden situation we find ourselves in. My independence was on high alert as I hobbled back to my car, actually lifted the dogs in with my right arm and drove home. As my husband didn't answer my 4 frantic phone calls for help, he was out of earshot of the phone. I can see that it's my own strong personal foundation which is allowing me to cope with yet another broken bone. But my question to you today is, what are your core values? Are you aware of them? If so, then how have they helped you to cope with the unexpected, impactful events in your life? It's always a challenge to rise to new occasions, whether it be good or not so good, and take personal responsibility along the way. So please take a moment and reflect on what it is that's helping you to move forwards in your life. Remember, broken bones will mend, even if it takes effort and a while. Patience too. Stay safe. Stay well. Yours in truth. Be careful. Ciao.